我们球员停止练习，马上进行本场次开场。再次欢迎所有透过电视机或者所有转播网络平台一起关注 P.LEAGUE 直男元年的所有乘客们。 欢迎再度关注桃园巨蛋体育馆，欣赏 P.LEAGUE 直男元年编号第14场次。这场由地主领航员 back to back 连续2场对上福尔摩沙台新梦想家队精彩的赛事。天佑台湾，桃园加油！在此波本土案例依旧没有停歇之前，本周领航员主场的2场赛事持续的闭门开打。 即使不能和各位乘客并肩作战，但桃园领航员不愿让整座原本充满着活力的城市因为疫情而悲情。我们决定闭门开打，除了可以保护所有球员及工作人员的健康安全之外，更愿意承担所有的损失，而换来桃园团结以及领航员共同的信仰。是时候了。 所有的乘客，所有的桃园人，今天一起空中支援，让领航员为桃园而战，为所有防疫先锋而战，为这座充满着骄傲的城市，今天再打一场胜仗。精彩的赛事要来展开。首先为各位介绍今天来访客队福尔摩沙台新梦想家所有登陆球员名单。 为各位介绍福尔摩沙台新梦想家球衣背号12 Number 10王柏志 ，Number 11球衣背号11号林俊吉 ，Number 13号谭杰荣 ，Number 18球衣背号18号杨胜燕 ，Number 20号 Eric King 金德伟。 那么23球标23号 Chen 肯尼。那么24号 Randall Walker。福尔摩沙台新梦想家本场是登陆先发球员 Starting Five。Number 6球背号6号杨敬敏。Number 12球背号12号 Jaron Young。 Number 17球背号17号 Stephen Hicks。Number 26号李德威。Number 30球背号30号吴松蔚。为各位介绍福尔摩沙台新梦想家总教练 Head Coach 还有 Julius，Assistant Coach 助理教练赖柏林，执行教练刘文和。 敌军来袭，领航员前沿注意！
亲爱的乘客们，机长陈新安欢迎各位登机。桃园领航员航空马上就要起飞喽！敬请各位乘客尽快就座，与我们一起顺利领航，飞向梦想的天空。Go！
胜利领航，全员起飞！ 桃园领航员作战部队，这边号6号 Number 6后勤战备的关键人物，作战手段越来越成熟的后卫关达佑。这边号7号 Number 7拼命三郎，吃得苦中苦，方为跳跳人前锋林佑中。 Number 18绝背号18号，靠着经验纵横战场、游击突破、得心应手的小福星后卫赖国伟。绝背号23号 Number 23，求胜欲望强烈、冲锋陷阵、毫不含扣的心灵导师前锋陈敬环。 前标25号 Number 25，烽火连天的战场下，勇于冲出封锁线，拦下终结者中锋林正。Number 30前标30号，脸上的笑容永远是敌人致命的毒药，重型轰炸机砰砰陈冠全。Number 63前标63号。 无论多么绵密的护网，总能见缝插针找到出口的后场指挥官后卫彭俊彦。本场是桃园领航员先锋部队 Starting Five。Number Five， 前辈号5号全方位锋线及长枪飞弹，攻击防御能力于一身的 Forward 前锋 Devon。 前辈号28号 Number 28， 前辈号28号国产最致命武器长城炮火猛烈精准的台湾阿瑶施晋尧。Number 29， 前辈号29号永不退缩无畏身体对抗的拼命三郎前锋张坤玉。Number 40， 前辈号40号激情的汉子，经常用炮口篮筐来宣示主权的肌肉硬汉。 Magic Number 50， 前辈号50号加上台湾狼，队友的定心丸，护国神 Q Quincy Davis。为各位介绍桃园领航员总经理陈信恩，执行教练杨怡峰，助理教练黄启峰，体能教练穆建宏，双方球员相互握手致意，最后的热身练习 Final 哇！为各位介绍本场是辛苦3位执法裁判老师 ，Crew Chief 主裁判员杨和平，Umpire 1第一检察员洪永玉，Umpire 2第二检察员林英峰。 用心要来打造舒适的看球环境，带着所有的乘客翱翔 Plus League 的篮球天空，一直是领航员在本球季最重要的目标。相当可惜，连续2周因为疫情的因素，没能够让乘客们进场，一起与领航员所有球员奋战。我今天领航员所有的球员依旧要来卖命的，为我们桃园而战，为所有防疫先锋辛苦的防疫第一线的人员来打出一场关键的胜仗。
飞上天，落下胜利领航员。
Ladies and gentlemen, seniors and youth, it's another game day in the Plus League. Taoyuan City is the site of this afternoon's game. We hope this broadcast finds you well and the basketball to boost your mood. I'm Ryan Chen, your play-by-play on this English broadcast, again along with my partner, Coach Ben Metcalf.
Hey, good to be here again, Ryan.
We're here in Taoyuan, as we mentioned, where the Pilots will have an 11-game homestand. This is game 4 of the process so far, game 14 overall in the Plus League season. About a quarter of the way through. Now we're inside the Taoyuan Arena, where there's our matchup. The Formosa Taishin Dreamers against the Taoyuan Pilots. About to tip off at about 3 minutes left. The Dreamers and the Pilots matching up on the back-to-back games just a week apart, though. Last time they played was Sunday. They're going to match up again today on Saturday. That's just how it goes in the small league, where their team standings, we'll see the Taipei Fuon Braves take their first loss last week. They sit at 6-1. The Pilots at 4-2. Lioneers winning their last game against those Braves to climb up to 2-5, and the Dreamers bring up the rear at 1-5. Just a small league, but there's still a lot of competitive juices still going. 3 teams we expect to make the playoffs when they officially announce the playoff outcome. Over on our Mandarin broadcast, our colleagues Taishin, Taibao, and then Coach Jiafan. 要收看中文转播的球迷朋友们，电视双语请按一下，不然在网络上 YouTube 请按另外一个连结来收听我们中文转播。Speaking of the last time, the Dreamers took a 1-point lead into halftime back when Anthony Tucker made a turnaround 2-point shot on the step back. He ended the night with 22 points to lead the Dreamers, who tied things up on Kadeem Jack's 10 points, Davon Reed's 9 points, or Guan Dayo's 5 points in the third quarter. Then in the fourth, despite taking a 5-point lead halfway through the fourth, the Dreamers had consecutive defensive miscues that saw the Pilots get back on top. The game's end result being the Pilots are 3-0 perfect at home, and the Dreamers starting to build up another losing streak after taking their first victory in Hsinchu. On your screen right now is the matchup graph statistics for the two teams. They played 3 times. The previous engagement was the opening weekend. The average score for the matchup is 99 points for the Pilots, 89 points for the Dreamers. Pilots shoot the better from all over the field, and especially from 3. Grab more rebounds, dish out more assists, and have more block shots. The only statistic that the Dreamers are better in is only 11.7 turnovers to 18 per game for the Pilots. Still a very lopsided matchup on the records, even though on the court it's still a competition.
Yeah, it's interesting. In this matchup, you see the Pilots are shooting a lot better from 3, which is normally the Dreamers' trademark. So if they continue doing that, it's going to be a really tough game for the Dreamers today.
Sanguri talking over with Yang Yifeng on the sideline. We'll bring you the starting lineups soon enough. There's Coach Kyle Julius, spoke to him pre-game, talking about how not even so much the players and the strategy on the court needs to adjust. He needs to make an adjustment as well, him and the coaching staff. Right now going through Si Jingyao, number 28 for the Pilots' highlights. Si Jingyao has been especially lethal in the fourth quarter, where he's had 16 and then 12 points in the consecutive games against the Dreamers. He's really one of their killers.
Yeah, Ryan, in this recent 3-game winning streak for the Pilots, he's had 22, 14, and 23. Definitely one of the standout local players for the Pilots.
There he goes, 23 points in the last game, 5 from 7 from deep. His outside shooting is one of the key points to how much the coaches trust him and how well he's been playing on the court. He's averaging, against the Dreamers, 20 points per game, 3.7 assists, maintaining a high 3-point shooting percentage overall. The Pilots are the most disciplined when it comes to defensive rebounding. We'll get to that in a moment. As we're about ready to tip, there's our starting 5 from left to right. It's Woo Sung-wei, Yang Jiming, Jaron Young, number 12. Hicks, number 17. And Derek playing the center for the Pilots from left to right. Davon Reed, Samgung Yu starting for the first time. Switching out to Kadeem Jack and Quincy Davis. Ready to go. Yang Heping, the crew chief, tips it off. And we're ready to go. The Pilots will control first.
And right away, we can see the biggest difference for this game is it's going to be Anthony Tucker's first time taking a game off this season. It'll be interesting to see how the Dreamers adjust to that lineup change.
So the two guys who are starting for the first time this season, number 30, Woo Sung-wei and Samgung Yu, they're on your screen. Early foul by Woo Sung-wei all the way. After a restart, they're going to Jack down low. He's working on Jaron Young. Those two pretty familiar now. Shoots the mid-range, a little strong.
Good job by Jaron Young pushing him out of his comfort zone, forcing that tough fade away into a miss.
Pilots are leading the league at 38 defensive rebounds a game, and they're sharing the basketball the best with 22 assists. Now Hicks shoots a three, rattles out.
Yeah, so with Tucker not starting today, we're going to go with Hicks today. I think some of our English viewers might be his first time being able to see him in action. Great performance last week for his first game. Unfortunately, twisted his wrist a little bit, so finally getting back to action today.
Jack Samgung in the corner. He'll shoot over all the way. Too strong as well. No score yet as Jaron Young brings the ball up. Over to Hicks. He drives and kicks. Woo Sung-wei shot by Archer, too strong as well. It's a 48-game season, but we're finally seeing a little bit more variation in the starting lineups, Coach.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that's exciting to see. You talked about this being the second game in a row for these two teams. Completely different teams, though, with different matchups.
Shot by Reed, too strong. Long rebound, Jaron Young over there to collect it. He'll switch it over to Hicks. He's got a lot of the possession early, bumps his way in. Can't finish, out of bounds. They call it to be Pilots basketball. Here's Su Jing-yao. Playing more point guard from his maybe wing position and parts of his other teams.
Yeah, he's done a great job this season, just kind of adjusting into what the team needs him to do.
Reed again, missing. And then Derek with a closeout.
You see on the other side, Amigo playing point guard. Obviously not his natural position. Again, with two imports in the league this year, a lot of locals are doing things that they might not necessarily have done in the past.
Amigo will shoot the step back and it's short. Be an opportunity for the Pilots. No score yet. 2.5 minutes in. Looking underneath where they have Quincy Davis. He receives mid-range. Is out. Over the top, that's Kadeem Jack, puts it out of bounds.
Tight rims here to start the game. A lot of tough misses from both sides. Hopefully we can get a make soon here, Ryan.
There's CEO of the league, Charles Chen, taking in the game from afar. Here in Taoyuan, there was a local infection and it was still discovering the cluster. Trying it out on man. There's an offensive foul by Lee Do-wei Derek, number 26. A little bit too much movement.
And that's one of the ones that maybe he and Hicks haven't had much time together. Hicks going a little bit early on that pick and roll. Derek coming up a little bit late. Again, that's tough for the bigs to gauge, but that chemistry will come with time.
Coach, has the method and techniques of screens also changed over time? Hicks with a steal. All the way just Kadeem Jack to beat. Pump fake, up and in after a few rattles.
Yeah, great job by Hicks there. He did a great job last week just denying that swing pass at the top of the key. Also knowing that Kadeem Jack's a jumper. Got him up in the air and able to finish for our first points of the game.
Su Jing-yao with a screen. He'll shoot and miss the three-pointer. Amigo to the hoop. He's fouled on his way there. Ball rolls out.
Yeah, Brian, back to what you're saying again. These screens, a lot of it, you just got to kind of see how the refs are going to call it. Again, there's no set way of screening. A lot of guys like to bump and get out quickly. We saw Derek doing a great job last week, just rolling hard, to the rim, and he's just got to adjust and see how the refs are going to call it today.
At the line, number 6, Yang Jimin, Amigo. Harsh rattling, missing that free throw. He's been playing since 2003, including 7 years in the Chinese Basketball Association in the mainland. Averaging 18 points a game, 5 rebounds and 2 assists. He actually lost 9 to 10 kilograms, anticipating the much quicker pace of play. Jaren Young on the floor, lead to a turnover, but Davis will get it right back. Wade Hicks, a turnover in the front court, and well, turnover in the back court, I should say, for the Pilots.
We can see that's what Hicks does a good job of, just kind of finding points out there, regardless of whether it's shooting from beyond the three-point line or getting those points in transition. Great job just finding opportunities.
Foul called on the drive. Amigo thought it was clean. You always say, Coach, when you swipe down, the referees are kind of sensitive to that.
Yeah, they call the action, not actually if there's a foul or not. From our angle, which is right here, it looks like it was all ball. Unfortunately, the ref did not agree.
So it'll be a sideline out of bounds for the Pilots.
You see the Pilots with a really early substitution here in the first, getting Tang Yu out of the game, and number 6, Fang Dayo, getting back into his point guard position.
Foul close to the baseline by Young.
Well, we can see right off the bat, the Dreamers on this losing streak, they're coming out very aggressive defensively. Again, created a couple steals out in the front court, and that's what they need to do. They can't just rely on their offense to get back into the winning column.
Guandayo's underneath, running out of time. That was one of the highlights of last weekend's matchup, where Amigo, close to the end of the game, couldn't get the ball in bounds. Jaren Young with Hicks to the left. He'll go to the hoop, knocking the left-handed layup. An early lead for the Dreamers, 7-0. Pilots are seeking answers. There'll be a timeout on the floor. Thanks for watching the Plus League. It would help our broadcast a lot if you would show your support by giving the stream a thumbs up. It'll help us get the word out and get discovered by viewers like you. We were talking about in the opening segment how the Pilots shared the basketball the best. They averaged 22 assists per game, including 3 weeks ago setting the league record with 30 assists. That's a high watermark even for other competitions around the world. I think, Coach, one of the features, they like to push the basketball up like so. Kadeem Jack receiving from Quincy Davis.
Yeah, good job out of the timeout by the Pilots, recognizing that press, able to split it pretty easily. Again, when you have Quincy Davis and Kadeem Jack on the court, it's a lot easier to break that press.
Another turnover, Reed to the hoop.
You can see Reed taking a page out of Hicks' book, denying that swing pass, getting out for the easy dunk in transition.
Just like that, one possession game. The Dreamers need to recover now. Derek, over to Young. He'll shoot the deep three and flush it down.
And that's the matchup advantage that the Dreamers are going to have. Again, regardless whether it's Quincy Davis or Kadeem Jack, somebody's going to be pulled out on the perimeter. Jaren Young doing a great job finding that opening for 2 points.
To the hoop, called for the foul. It'll be free throws. Kadeem Jack. One dunk to get us started. Then Reed, anticipating the pass, taking it the other way.
And great response by the Pilots out of that early timeout, getting right back in this game.
Davis will take a seat for number 30, Chen Guanchen. You might have heard Peng Peng. Corresponding moves for the Dreamers as Wang Bozi, number 10, will come in for the Dreamers. Two local bigs, not so tall, but
big. Very big.
Very big. First free throw in for Kadeem Jack.
It's unfortunate we're playing behind closed doors today, so there's not a crowd to see the fan favorite Tank, number 10, in for the Dreamers.
Kind of get it started in the first segment. Long rebound, Amigo collects. There was a cluster discovered in the Taoyuan area, so out of abundance of caution, this game and last week's 2 games were played behind closed doors. Woo Sung-wei over to Amigo. He's got an opening. Shoots, short. Jaron Young all the way. Stepped on the line before reaching the basketball.
Yeah, we can see the Dreamers without Anthony Tucker in there playing a little bit differently. Again, some different sets, a little bit more ball movement. Guys getting good open looks, just not being able to make it in the first 6 minutes of this game.
Guan Nayo driving left, getting sealed off, so he'll get it out to Reed. Jack coming over the screen. That's Hicks and Young getting involved. We'll go up to Guan Nayo, who flushes down the shot.
And that's a defensive turnover there. Again, knowing that the pick and roll is going to get switched, no reason to help. Again, that little daylight, Guan Nayo able to hit that 3.
Amigo looking for space. Now underneath, the left Tank alone, and he rattles out the shot. Missed opportunity.
Yeah, great pass by Amigo. Just got to finish that Tank.
Reed to the hoop. He's working on hits. We'll retreat out to Kadeem Jack. Both teams playing with forward-ish size players. Interesting matchup for the first time without Anthony Tucker. This shot, and Young will come away with it. Jaron Young working on Guan Nayo. Now get it out to Woo Sung-wei. From the right wing, too strong. But he'll get another chance. To Amigo from the opposite corner. The 3-point shooting not going for the Dreamers. That's their trademark.
Yeah, can't ask for better looks. Just got to make some shots.
Turnover, so Woo Sung-wei again from the right wing. Being left wide open. Starting might not be it for him.
Again, you said it, Ryan. These are wide open shots that the coach obviously has faith in you. You just got to hit them shots.
Amigo. I think that's easy enough of a shot. He lays it up and in.
It is, and once again, the Dreamers with an early turnover, forcing that turnover in the backcourt. That's something that these young Pilots guards got to be aware of, ready for.
Found the front court. That brings our score to 12-8. A steal from behind, it looks like. Jaron Young to Yang Jingwei. That'll be the 5th team foul for the Dreamers. The Pilots in the bonus for the rest of 4 minutes and 38 seconds. Also on the court now is Chen Jinghuan, Ahuan. Number 23, first free throw is in. And the second shot, also down. That's 1 for 8 for the Dreamers beyond the 3-point arc. Young will try again. He has the only make. Airballs it.
Again, these Dreamers are getting great looks on the perimeter, just not able to hit them so far. We talked about that 3-point shooting in the first 3 matchups, gone on the Pilots' favor. Continuing here in this 4th game of the matchup.
The Dreamers were victorious back in Hsinchu for their first win of the season. That was weeks ago. Underneath, Davon Reed getting the no call, missing the layup. Professor Tucker had a 42 points in that one after a 41-point performance to lead them to the win. But you'd expect with him out, ball movement to be a little bit better as we see Davon Reed getting past 2 Dreamers, met at the hoop by Jaron Young.
Yeah, Ryan, you said Anthony Tucker's He's averaging, 26-something points a game. He's averaging 20 shots a game. And that's something that the Dreamers are going to have to come up with by committee. Again, Hicks isn't going to bring that by himself, so everybody else is going to get some opportunities to see who takes advantage of it.
See the long arms of Jaron Young getting in the way once again. Now Pom Pom will shoot the three. He's capable. It's short now. Randall Walko's in the game, number 24, with the rebound. Quick set for Hicks, but he's having some dribbling troubles, and he's eventually pushed out of bounds by Pong Pong.
Yeah, but we see the difference with Hicks in the game. Again, him running out on the break. These local guards are able to pass ahead. Again, put pressure on the defense. A little bit difference of an offensive look here with Hicks in the game.
Hicks getting subbed out by Kenny Chen, number 23 for the Dreamers. Been dealing with a wrist injury earlier in the season. Back into action now. Young Randall Walko in the game, receiving, and he'll shoot the left wing three. Over the backboard, off the rim.
You can see Randy in the game. Obviously, this is his first professional experience here in Taiwan. Looking more and more comfortable as the season progresses. Hopefully, he'll be able to have a good contribution for the Dreamer.
Poked out of bounds. Pilots basketball.
You see everybody who's coming in the game just having an effect on the game defensively. Just getting these pokes, these deflections, these kicks, these tips. That's what these Dreamers need to do if they're going to try and break this losing streak.
Previously on the screen was Yang Yifeng, coach of the Pilots. Down to Reed from the U. Catches Kenny Chen, hand in the cookie jar.
Yeah, vet root move right there by Davon Reed. Felt the hand on his hip, ripped through. 2 shots.
Even before our producers could get it on the screen, Coach, you're right, hand on the hip.
And that's just a feel thing. Again, Kenny trying to body him up. We talked about their defensive pressure. These Pilots are starting to understand how they're going to defend this game. Feeling that pressure, ripping through to create space. This time creating 2 opportunities from the line.
Davon Reed also grabs 10 rebounds a game and dishes out an average of 6 assists a game, which is second in the league. Coach Ben, with a quarter of the way through the Plus League season, he's got to be a contender, even a front runner for the Import Player of the Year so far.
Yeah, he's been a standout. Every game he's had big performances, like you mentioned, not just in the scoring department, but on the rebounding and passing. He's done a great job helping this Pilots team out to a second place that may be a little surprising to some of our fans at home.
Made free throw, 14-12, Dreamers lead. See that lead cut down. Now the Pilots in a zone, daring the Dreamers. Go for some outside shooting. Kenny drives, met at the rim by Pong Pong. Jaron Young there for the rebound. He'll retreat it out. Now Young Sung Yin, too strong with his three-point attempt. Got to be concerning for the Dreamers if the three-point shot will fall. They're still leading by 2 though. Jack will attempt the long-range shot. I'm always curious about, in the previous, I should say opening weekend, they had Kenny Chen matched up against Kadeem Jack. There's Kenny making that three-pointer. On defense though, they've had Kenny on Jack a number of times, and that's a big size disadvantage.
Yeah, and that's the thing that these Dreamers have gotten better at throughout the season, just that switching. They do a lot of switching. You're going to need to have a lot of communication, as we see Kadeem Jack drive in for the easy bucket. Again, with all that switching and all that communication that needs to go on, and that takes time. So in the first game, as you mentioned, a couple mismatches, a couple easy baskets, but that's something that they've tried to work on to get better at.
Trying to get organized, nothing going so far. And tip pass, Jaron Young will shoot the free throw shot, miss.
We've seen the Pilots doing a good job stopping that Dreamers ball movement with that zone.
Out of bounds, it'll be Dreamers basketball.
Yeah, we can see that matchup you talked about early. Kadeem Jack blowing by Kenny Chen. Tank under the basket, not quite tall enough to affect his shot. Goes up right over him.
Kadeem Jack, 5th in scoring, 23 points per game, and 2nd in rebounding, 13.5 per game. One of those 2010 guys that's taking the plus league. Grabs another rebound on the block.
Yeah, we see the previous possession, he got blown by Kenny. That time just backing up, meeting him at the rim.
The Zijing Yao will rattle in a 3. And that'll be tie game. The Dreamers want to talk it over. Good consecutive possessions for the Pilots and find themselves tied with 1 minute and 2 seconds left in the first quarter.
And that's one of the first times this first half we've seen the Pilots do what they do best. You can see Aya there telling Kadeem Jack, get that rebound, get it out, and we'll just run ahead of you. They did a great job advancing the ball, finding Aya on the perimeter, doing what he does best, hitting those wide open 3-pointers in transition.
Assisted by Ahuan, where Ayao makes the finish with the 3-pointer. Sitting at the bottom of the league standings, the Dreamers have to fix really one critical thing, the fourth quarter performance. They averaged the least amount of points in the fourth, only 23.5 in the final frame. Of those, only 14.5 come from their domestic players. A lot of it from Tucker, from Young, and from Amigo, one of their other domestic players. Coach, they have a lot of late adds to their roster, a lot of new faces to the team, trying to get incorporated pretty much weeks into the season. Really not so much the entire preseason.
Yeah, and that's one of the encouraging things we've seen in this first quarter. Again, regardless of the percentage they're shooting from the outside, a lot of these locals have been able to take advantage. Again, we've seen Kenny hit a nice 3 in the corner, Amigo obviously doing what he does, but regardless of his tank down in the paint, or Yang Sun Yen, or the starter Woo Song Wei, a lot of them have been very eager to get those shots up. That's something that's going to need to start in the first quarter. They can't just wait till the fourth quarter to build that confidence.
Big believer in player team huddles. Anthony Tucker in the white t-shirt on your screen usually conducts those meetings from the floor, but right now he'll be sitting from the side trying to give that instructions from the bench with teammates. Kenny working across the lane. Young's turn, he pulls it up and got it.
That's his shot. That long 2 from the top of the key. Again, good jab step to create space. Nice hit.
Here's Zijiao with a spin move, fancy off the backboard, too strong. Tank gets the rebound. Seeing the game like Olway. Top of your screen, one of the back positions of the zone. Foul, that's Ahuan. The 3 team fouls, only 8 seconds left in the quarter.
The Pilots with still the foul to give. See if the Pilots are able to get it early, maybe even get to the line.
Young controlling. Through the middle, he'll float it. Rattles out. Watch out for the slippery floor. Jaren Young recovers, and we'll be going to the second quarter break. Good game so far. Expect nothing less in the Plus League. We'll be back after a word. COVID-19 is still a serious threat. Do your part in preventing the spread by wearing your mask outside your house, washing your hands frequently, and following the guidelines of health experts. These measures plus the vaccine will get us through these times, so thank you. Lingjunji Aji for the Dreamers, number 11, receiving the basketball. He's in for the first time. Passing around the outside. Amigo try to buy the foul and not get it. Jack with a way to the hoop. Nobody there to contest, but he blows the layup. A rare Fang Chang by the import players. To the other side, Hicks fouled by Reed on the rip through.
Yeah, we can see on the possession before Amigos trying to get the foul called. As we see here, Stephen Hicks continuing to do a good job running the break, get those easy opportunities to score. But these Dreamers just have to be ready to score. They have to be ready to shoot. Yang Sun-Yen just had a great look at the top of the key, passed it up. All of his teammates just kind of stopped, expecting him to shoot. And coach is putting them into the game with the green light. They just got to get ready to make those shots.
Bouncing out the free throw. Hicks second is in. (20-17) is the score. Loose with the basketball will stay with the Pilots. Here's Lai Guowei and Ling Junji. Highly anticipated player, but coach struggling to get on the court for more than a few minutes. Nobody there to receive.
Yeah, it's tough for these rookies. We've already seen Randy Walco in there for the Dreamers. Again, Aji being a rookie. Again, this is a real professional league, and a lot of these guys coming out of college. Again, it's a big adjustment. They're trying to figure out their way. Coach is trying to figure out how to use them. Good to see him getting some time here in the second quarter. Hopefully he'll be able to do something with it.
Now to the corner, Aji choosing to drive, getting stuck on Pong Pong. Make it way to Jaren Young. Fouled by Lai Guowei. Wait, 3-second call on the floor.
Yeah, this Pilot zone has really put a cramp in the Dreamers' offense here. Kind of struggled moving the ball side to side, getting good looks against that zone. See if they'll be able to break it going forward.
Excuse me, it was my favorite, shall we say, out of bounds on the step.
No, your favorite's in the corner, Ryan. I'll give you a break on that one.
Davon with a tough shot. Amigo with a rebound.
Yeah, good job by Derek, just moving his feet, staying in front.
Fouled from behind that with time. Sijiao, the kind of a mean hack from behind. Called for the foul.
Yeah, this mean hack is nothing compared to some of the other hacks we've seen from last week in the league, Ryan.
Perhaps referring to Zheng Wenting on Oscar. Called for the unsportsmanlike foul and then subsequently fined by the league. To be transparent, it kind of came a little late, but the league is still figuring everything out, including fines and penalties for the players on the court, for the front office staff, and maybe operational things. That's all part of the deal.
Yeah, but it's good to see the league stepping up and trying to take care of player safety. Obviously, with the basketball game, our biggest resource is these players. Got to keep them safe, keep them playing basketball on the court.
Young will finally control. Head over to the Amigo. Zheng Wenting also mentioned, though, that part of that reason was he was protecting himself by trying to get Oscar out of the way, who intentionally looking for contact. Hicks underneath for two. And it makes sense. Zheng Wenting coming from injury and veteran player himself, with perhaps seeing the end of his career in the near future. Running low on time. Swish. Lai Guowei from Nanshan High School, one of the powerhouse high schools in Taiwan. Out of bounds, unforced error. Derek cutting through. Nobody knows whose basketball that was intended for. Lai Guowei, one of the more recent ads for the Pilots.
Yeah, he spent the last couple years in China playing on some of the Yeqiu. Some of those random competitions out there, deciding he wants to come back and participate in this Plus League in its inaugural season. Good to see some opportunities here for Taiwanese players.
Reed off the pin down. He gets the ball back. Sujingyao, open three, and butter.
Again, fortunate to get that loose ball. Ayao, once again, able to hit from beyond the arc.
Is the Pilots now with the lead. Another short three-point attempt by Amigo. Sujingyao will try again. Off this time. Derek with a rebound. He'll push up ahead. With the baseline pull-up. Jaron Young, we see him love the middle of the floor. That time going with the baseline.
But once again, we see the Pilots forcing the Dreamers into a contested mid-range shot. Again, exactly what that zone is designed to do.
Reed. Out of space, though. It'll be Laigwe again, and he hits. Lead for the Pilots built up to 4 points now, and now the Dreamers losing all that momentum built from that 7-0 lead. They call timeout. They'll talk it over. We'll take a break. Be right back to the action. We talk about stats and the box scores. You can check it out for yourself on the Plus League official site, pleagueofficial.com. More excitingly, in some ways, the second set of Plus League merchandise is out. You can find that also on the site, plusleagueofficial.com/shop. Sujingyao stepping up for his team we've mentioned. Now, Laigwe with a couple made threes, also making his mark on the game.
And Ryan, we mentioned before the game in this matchup, the Pilots doing a better job from behind the three-point line. That trend continuing here in this fourth game of the matchup.
Picks in for the Dreamers. Now Yang Song-yen, who started all the games until this one. Number 18 running across. A lot of congestion up front, not a lot of space though. Amigo receives the screen. To Derek, hesitates now to number 18, Yang Song-yen. Missing, Reed to Jack, combining for the rebound.
Yeah, but that zone continuing to stymie the Dreamers defensively. Again, hard to find good looks against it so far.
Jack with the dribble handoff, big to big. Find room underneath and slam it home.
Yeah, great Steve Smith kind of fake spin move going back baseline, right around Derek for the dunk.
Now a 6-point deficit for the Dreamers. They'll pass it right into Kadeem Jack's hand. Sujingyao, back it out. Laigwe waiting on Pom Pom's screen. He gets it to Jack. Down the lane again. Tough finish. A lot of hands on the basketball on his way there.
Yeah, after a slow start for Kadeem Jack, starting to warm up here, getting everything on drive to the basket. One dribble finish.
Amigo through the middle with space. He'll lay it up with the left hand.
Yeah, I think Amigo was as surprised as everybody else when he got to the middle. Nobody contested the layup. Easy finish there.
Whoa, close to the basket. Late call on the foul.
That's going to be Amigo's third foul here in the first half. Here we see The nice spin move going baseline. No help there after the blow by.
You call it, coach. That's the third foul for Yang Jingming.
You can see the rookie Randy Walko back of the game. Hopefully he can help them break this zone. And ever since the Pilots went to it in the second half of the first quarter, this Dreamers offense has really been stagnant. Regardless whether it's just trying to get into sets or trying to pass it into the middle, they've had a tough time getting into a nice flow.
Only 4 Dreamers have scored. We see 5 Pilots have scored so far. Now an 8-point game, 6 minutes and 32 seconds in the second quarter. Now showing it through the middle to Hicks. Derek now. Still passing it around. Jaron Young underneath, through contact, missing. And a foul in the front court, second team foul.
But these Dreamers guards, they got to look at the basket. Again, this zone is sucking in so far. They're not able to pass it to that free throw line extended area because they're not even looking to score. They just got to give a pump fake, something, look at the basket to bring that defender out one step and create that passing.
Guan Dayo working on Woo Sung Wei, who just came in the game for Randy Walko. Davon Reed finding space, laying it up and in. Very sneaky, very slippery. It's Davon Reed's driving attribute. Your scouting report brought to you by a sponsor in the future, we hope. Stephen Hicks in the middle for 2.
Yeah, nice little floater over the defense stepping up.
Guanayo getting Pong Pong up for the screen. Underneath, Sijing now. Cutting without the basketball, rewarded with 2 points.
Yeah, and we've seen him do that this whole season. Again, he's done that his whole career, just being able to cut behind that defense when they turn their head. Nice finish at the basket.
Now a 10-point lead for the Taoyuan Pilots. Jaron Young will blow the layup. Fang Chang.
And I don't know if Kadeem Jack is tired or what, but we've seen a couple possessions where Amigo drives right to the basket. No contest there, no contest. Fortunate on the miss.
There's Reed to Pong Pong for assist and bucket.
Again, great roll right there by the local big. Easy to capitalize on the nice assist.
Pilots getting whatever they want in this second quarter. Right now, 15-5 at the quarter score. Excuse me, 21-7. Need an update there.
But once again, the Dreamers doing a good job driving. Derek with a great seal to open up that lane for the nice little bank-in floater.
Reed will pull up from 3. Out of bounds off of Kadeem Jack. Let's see what fresh bodies come on and off. Quincy Davis checking into the game. He's been sitting since. Just initially Jonah Morris then got up, but now he's ready to go. A little confusion there, sporting the long hair. Derek will take a seat. In the middle right now, Jonah Morrison, center size in Taiwan as the floater is interrupted by Davis on the way. Leading blocker of the league. Jack through the middle and one on the touch foul.
And that's just too easy. Eye out with the quick rip through, blow by on the perimeter. Kadeem with a great roll. Again, that's just something you can't accept. No weak side help, no on the ball defense, and one opportunity for the offense.
Just like that, Jaron Young is off. Randy Walko is in.
Yeah, this is going to be a challenge for this Dreamer lineup. Again, who's the scoring going to come from? 4 locals, an import who's only been with the team for about a month. somebody's going to have to step up to get this game into single digits before halftime.
So right now they have Jonah Morrison playing in the middle. More apt at the three-point line. Block from behind, that's Davis. Averaging 2.83 per game. That leads the league. Jack through the middle. Guan Dayo with the assist.
You can see the same thing. A quick little drag in transition. Nobody helping on the roll. Again, Jonah sticking on the outside shooter. Easy finish in the paint.
Yang Sun-Yen matched up by the defense. Kind of bailed out by the foul there.
We can see the Pilots pushing the pace this time with Jonah out on the perimeter, somewhere he's not used to defending. Laid on the help, Kadeem Jack with an easy layup in transition.
That is very curious, Coach. Morrison listed at 205, which is about 8 foot or 6 foot 8 and a half. Excuse me. Our math lesson coming courtesy of Logic. And but of his 24 shots taken, 19 have been behind the arc. Closing out that time successful. What do you make of Jonah Morrison's progression as a player? He is only 20 years old after all.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a guy who's still really in college. Again, he should be still in Canada going into his senior year, I believe. Again, because of the pandemic. As we see Randy Walko finally hitting a shot from the perimeter, something the Dreamers desperately needed. But he's coming in here. Obviously, he's a little undersized big, so when he's at the 5, his advantage offensively is going to be from the three-point line. So he's going to step out and shoot those shots. Again, he's still learning. We've seen some improvement. We just got to keep seeing it a little bit more.
Quincy Davis from the corner. Their solution at that time against the Dreamers, kind of like a 3-2, 2-1-2 flexing zone.
Yeah, we can see Quincy coming in the game and immediately having a presence defensively with a couple shots defended at the rim. And they're offensively able to hit the mid-range jumper.
Walko missing the shot, but getting his own rebound. And on the second opportunity, they get the foul. Third on Si Jingyao.
And this is just what Coach Julius is asking of these locals. Just look at the basket, shoot with confidence. Otherwise, that zone's just going to get smaller and smaller. Again, Randy, after a rough couple games to begin his career with, looking a lot more comfortable, able to hit that nice 3.
Pilots confident with their zone. Now from the corner, all the way, that's his favorite spot, he hits.
And this is contagious. Again, you hit that first 3, everybody else starts looking at the rim, shooting with confidence. Again, this is something the Dreamers desperately need going into this halftime break.
Now they've made an adjustment, more of a 2-3 look. Jack in the middle, through a lot of contact, finally called for the foul.
But that's something where Jonah's just got to learn. Again, going up against Kadeem Jack, he's not going to shoot that free throw line jumper. As we see the quick swing shot, Wusong Wei from the corner. But again, he knows that he's just going to look to drive. Good job forcing him left. Hicks with the reach in for the foul.
Kadeem Jack from New York, went to Rutgers, 28 years old. A step up to the free throw line as Zhang Gongyu checks in behind him. Trying to build up this Pilots lead, makes the first free throw. He's got another one with 1 minute and 33 seconds left in the first half.
The Dreamers, after that nice first quarter, really struggled on the second. Right now they got a chance to cut it single digits, would be a great boost for morale going into that halftime break.
The later matchup, the Lioneers will host the Braves. We mentioned in the intro that the Lioneers gifted the first loss to the Braves at their place as Walko hits another 3. Talk about contagious.
Yeah, and this is a kid who was, played D3 there in the States, player of the year in the conference. Yeah, he's just doing what he does, just trying to figure out how he fits in this professional league here. Okay, great tip there by Jonah Morrison.
All part. As Walco has another opportunity. Off to the left. Banayo into the corner.
Oh, there's your favorite, Ryan.
Let's get to check out the replay if it was. You see, Coach, I'd always catch my attention when they dribble, but that time I'm going to be retreating to the corner for a shot.
Unfortunately, they're not going to give us the replay on that one, but
we'll check it out later. Dreamers, not in all that much of a hurry. Another offensive foul on the screen. Jonah Morrison called this time.
And that's you talked about earlier, Ryan, about the screening. That's something that Jonah's just got to be watching from the bench. And we've seen Pump on with some great screens. This time, Jonah, a little bit of that hip thrust, gets called for the offensive foul. He's just got to be aware of how the refs are calling it.
Davis through the middle. To Guandayo in the corner. Confident, but misses. Last possession of the first half, you'd presume. The Pilots with a man look. A lot of attention. Run out of time and miss the shot. Davis collect the basketball and give it a practice half-court shot. And that's halftime, 10-point lead for the Taoyuan Pilots here at their home floor, looking for their 4th consecutive victory against the Dreamers. We'll be back with halftime analysis after the break. Before that, a word from the Pilots head coach, Yang Yifeng, excuse me, with our colleagues on the Mandarin side, Tai Bao and Coach Jiafan on the left. Asked about the nature of competitive games against the same opponents.
因为我们本来设定就是得挥守谁就上去挡，然后一开始 D 跟 J 就是做的没有这么好，变成2个洋将会互换的话，变成 D 带球太多，然后喊个暂停之后，我们就叫德威上来打。那德威上来 D 就会比较跑进攻，然后下滑也会有机会，然后加上我们的防守又比较改变，所以比较有机会快攻产生。
Li Dewei, Derek on the other team, maybe attack him on offense and tire him out, possibly get him in foul trouble.
因为我们刚刚打了3场，第一场球我们30个助攻，到20个、15个，那是本土没有进攻去得分，然后造成失误。那我今天开会的时候，我就希望我的本土球员，因为大家一定会守我们的洋将，那本土一定要跳出来，积极的去进攻。那今天他们做得还不错。
It's finding Danny to assist the import players, but getting everyone involved will be key to winning and sustained success. Now we'll go to a break. Back with more halftime analysis.
Don't give this team more respect than they deserve. We're not friends with nobody on this fucking court. We're gonna go out, we're gonna take care of business, handle home court. We owe them one. Let's get the job done.
Yeah, anticipate where the next pass is going to be made, anticipate where the next cut is going to be made, and then decide who you're going to help.
在场上就做好自己该做的事情啊，然后你不要被别人影响，就是上了场就打就对了，不用想太多。
但是我们现在是回防的问题啊，因为我们现在刚刚会分数被追回去就是失误。 太多，然后没办法回防。
We were in control of the game. We were winning. All we got to do is regain control of the game.
领先那么多，那我要怎么去掌控这个节奏？这是我要去学习。
带领这些学弟吧，小弟，就是让他们说在什么事，在什么情况做什么事，让他们越来越好。
Welcome to the halftime of this Formosa Taishin Dreamers versus Taoyuan Pilots basketball game in the Plus League. There's our colleague Taiba on the right and Coach Jiafan Jeff on the left doing the Mandarin broadcast. Coach Ben and Ryan Chen here on the English commentary. Early lead for the Dreamers have now succumbed to a 12-point advantage in the second quarter, and at the first half, 10 points for the Pilots. Checking out their first half stats. Pilots shooting the basketball better from all over the floor. Pretty equal in the rebounding department. Pilots with 14 to 6 assists, and both teams even in the turnover department. Critically coached in the second quarter, Kadeem Jack with 11 points, getting a lot of assists from his teammates, working through the middle.
Yeah, we saw Kadeem able to do it in the half court and in transition. Had a nice contribution there in the second quarter to get them to this 10-point lead.
Scoring rankings for the Dreamers has Hicks with 11, Jaron Young with 7, Randall Walko with 6, Yang Jimin 5, and Wu Sung-wei all the way with 3. Like we mentioned before, without Anthony Tucker, how is the playmaking going to happen? Now Kadeem Jack with 16, Davon Reed with 10, Sijingyao with 8, Like Wei, 2 3-pointers, that's 6 points, and Guan Dayo 3 points of his own.
Yeah, and that's the big difference. Again, we know that Kadeem Jack, Davon Reed, and Ayao are going to contribute. Today we've seen the Nansan guards getting some 3-pointers. Like Wei with 2, Guan Dayo with 1. Again, leading the Pilots to have this 10-point lead.
We'll be back after a break. More halftime coming after this. back here in Taoyuan, we're Ryan and Coach Ben on your English broadcast. Coach, even though the Dreamers made 3 of 8 3-point shots in the second quarter, where they were only 2 of 12 in the first quarter, really defense is playing the biggest part in the reason why they're down early.
Yeah, they did a great job defensively, able to kind of control the pace, get out to a lot of easy fast break opportunities, as we see here. But then in the second quarter, the Pilots went into that zone and kind of stymied the pace. Yeah, they weren't able to swing the ball as much, weren't able to get up and down. And in the second quarter was the Pilots getting those easy opportunities in transition, like this one from Davon Reed. Yeah, this is a thing that's been for the Dreamers the whole season. They're going to need to get out in transition, get some easy looks, create some points with the size advantage they're always going to have.
Now, interestingly enough, for the Pilots, through parts of the second quarter, they didn't even get Jack involved with pick and rolls and weren't as efficient, but once they got Jack more involved, he scores efficiently when he's in the middle.
Yeah, he's good at just being around, being in the right place at the right time, with eye out, being able to drive from the paint, get those little dump passes off to him. He's great at finding those little pocket passes. And here with the little half spin, baseline drive for the dunk. That's what he's done a good job of this entire season.
Now in a small league, they match up often. We've actually seen a little bit of a conversation, shall we say, greetings, between Kadeem Jack with the Dreamers bench. Davon Reed also putting in good work. He has 10 points, 5 assists already in the first half.
Yeah, I'm not sure if our fans at home can hear it. Obviously here with no fans in the stands, we're able to hear these conversations very clearly. Kadeem Jack seems to like to have conversations with anybody who will listen. Today's audience being the Dreamers bench. We'll see if that continues here in the second half.
Also interesting to note, 12 fouls for the Dreamers, leading to 11 free throws for the Pilots. We'll be back after the break with the second half of this Plus League basketball game. Get more Plus League content by liking our Facebook page, P.LEAGUE with a plus symbol, Instagram, P.LEAGUE.official, and Twitter, @P_League_EN. During the breaks in the action, check out the weekly shows on our YouTube page, P.LEAGUE, including top plays, highlights, behind the scenes, and our most popular segment, 裁判好好说, or The Head Referee Explains. I find it very educational for our head official, Lin Jinglong, to explain all the finer points of officiating basketball.
Yeah, it was great for me to be able to watch it and still have some flashbacks of referees explaining stuff to me during the games. Again, this time I was a little more calm and collected during the games, probably a little bit heated.
Those are the jerseys that the pilots have placed on the seats in the sections behind the scorer's table as we get set to get the action started once again. Coach, message to the Dreamers, looking at 10-point deficit, 2 games down, or is that just too much information?
Yeah, at this point, they just kind of got to take a step at a time. They did a good job cutting that, 15-point deficit into 10. They give themselves a chance with a quick run to get right back in this game. Again, they had some good signs in the first half. Again, Hicks with a good first half, getting out in transition at the end of the first half with Randy Walko and Yang Sung-Yen hitting some big threes. Again, just things to build on here in the second half.
The Dreamers swapping out Woo Sung-wei for Yang Sung-Yen. And Randy Walko is also in to at least get the second half started for the Pilots. By Golway will start at the point and cut across. With an opening, his shot rattles in and out. For the Pilots, seen a lot of success lately. What's Yang Yifeng telling his guys?
He's just telling them to do what they do. Again, they did a great job just sitting in that zone and getting out in transition. That's what the Pilots have done a great job this whole season. Again, they were able to create some good transition opportunities in the second quarter, some easy buckets leading to this 10-point lead. Again, the problem is these Dreamers are tough. Again, they're going to get right back in this game. Transition opportunities, 3 points. Again, we can see here Hicks at the line for 2 more points, having a conversation with none other than Kadeem Jack.
Quincy Davis commits the foul. Sending Hicks to the line. First foul by Davis. He perhaps communicates with the referees the most of all the players in the Plus League. Talking during the plays, after the plays, following them around to their secondary spots after fouls, talking it over. He might benefit from watching the Taipan Hao. So
maybe if he learned some Chinese in his 10 years in Taiwan, he'd be able to watch it.
A fun milestone for Quincy Davis, arriving in Taiwan and becoming a citizen. 3-point made by Davon Reed.
Yeah, the Dreamers coming out in the second half with a zone look. Pilots doing a good job swinging the ball to that weak side corner. Davon Reed with a nice hit.
Swing it to the in front of us. Aming will get it to Jaron Young with Kadeem Jack in his face. Now cutting. Kick out to Hicks. Sporting pink shoes. More offensive rebounds for the Dreamers. Long shots equal long rebounds, Coach.
Yeah, and that's the 3rd offensive rebound. 4th offensive rebound, see, here in the second half. Again, something that the Pilots need to be aware of. They came out in the first half a little sluggish. In the second half, same thing.
Quincy Davis also lauded for his passing. Here's Walko from deep. Jaron Young over pursuing the basketball a little bit, leaving his team with a disadvantage. Underneath, there's Kadeem Jack rolling that one out.
That's what we said. Kadeem just doing a good job finding the basketball.
To the hoop, tucks it under and puts it back up and in.
Again, just creating opportunities for himself and for his teammates. Nice second chance points there.
Amigo from the corner. Short. Walko right there. Puts it up and in.
Again, Randy's done a really good job just trying to be active here in this second half. Doing a good job getting his hand on the ball, crashing the offensive boards. 2 points right there.
You know, we missed an opportunity for a Mandarin lesson. Maybe we'll see another one later, but Kadeem Jack, when he pumps the basketball in the air, in Mandarin we call that a lock-on. Davon Reed, another three. Watch out, he's heating up. The lock-on, we'll look out for an opportunity to demonstrate it, show in the future. Another offensive foul on the screen. Jaren Young with a hip hop.
And that's the third time this game we've seen that same call. The refs have been consistent. Again,
twisting around.
Yeah, and some of that's on Amigo. Again, going a little bit early before Jaren Young's there. Again, tough call, but just got to adjust to the ref.
An interesting thing to think about is not only per game how the referees call it, but really the three referees if they have the same take on it. Now block at the rim. Dreamers coming down the other way. Amigo will pull it out. Alco shooting from the top. Strong. Davon Reed pokes it, but Hicks gets the basketball. His fadeaway, too short.
And that's the influence that Quincy Davis has on the game. Again, Amigo in transition, looking at the basket, seeing Q under there, backing it right out, only able to get a perimeter shot.
To the corner, now Sijian drives middle, loses the basketball. Fouled. Before Randy Walco could push the Dreamers up.
The Dreamers have been pushing things middle. Jaren Young able to get his hands on a couple balls, poking them away. And just got to find out a way on the offensive end here. Dreamers still stagnant here in the second half.
Chen Jinghuan will come in for Si Jingyao. That's Ah Huan for Ah Yao. With the hoop. Davis with a rebound.
But once again, being able to get into the middle and able to do something with it is tough, especially with Quincy Davis right there in the middle. We saw in the first half a couple floaters from there, but Yang Sung Yin, they're not able to make that shot over the extended defense of Quincy Davis.
Gonna try it out the timing shot. The right hand. Davon Reed working on Jaren Young. Turns around. Quincy Davis is there for the offensive board. Down low to Jack. Right over all the much shorter bodies down low of the Dreamers.
Again, just doing a great job of ducking in really quickly on that offensive rebound. Easy points.
Choosing not to go at Davon Reed. The Dreamers will swing it around. Yang Sung-yin kicks in the middle. He'll fall to the floor, unable to hit.
Once again, Quincy Davis in the middle of the paint with the defensive.
Through the middle to the house, Kadeem Jack. The Pilots building up a 19-point lead as the referees call for a little bit of a mop-up job around the hardwood here in Taoyuan. Made brand new for this season.
But this is what we've seen the entire game. These Pilots guards, regardless local or there, Davon Reed, the import, just being able to get by that first line of defense. As soon as that big comes over to help, Kadeem Jack, all doing a great job rolling right to the rim, getting easy baskets.
Really, with Jaren Young falling to the ground on that play, no resistance behind him. Stephen Hicks listed as center here, but maybe natural of a wing who gets a lot of rebounds. He had 18 in his debut game.
And that's where this first line of defense just has to do a better job. Again, you get beat, you know there's no help behind. It's going to be a long night.
Hicks with 5 rebounds, Jaren Young with 8 to lead the Dreamers. There's a steal, intercepted in the air. Foul from behind before he can get to the layup.
And this is what the Dreamers need to do, just continue to get out in transition. That's what they did the first quarter. Stephen Hicks getting a lot of quick baskets. Again, this time, able to get the steal and create the foul in transition.
That's 3 team fouls for the Pilots. Second personal on Chen Jinghuan. 7 minutes and 12 seconds in the third quarter. Now, Dreamers looking at the Pilots zone. Chen Kenny swinging it to Amigo. He hits.
Again, much needed basket there by the vet. Amigo stepping up for the 3-point against the zone.
Interesting story for Amigo. When he started his career, and he made his way to the Taiwan beer basketball team in 2007. That team was co-led by our CEO, Charles Chen. We call him Chen Jianzhou. Turnover. There's Amigo. At the time, the team slogan was Taidu, which means attitude. Amigo going for the rebound and getting it. Kenny, he'll try and hit. Here come the Dreamers.
These Pilots seem to do the same thing every game, just let their opponents stay in the game. Normally it's with turnovers. In this third quarter, it's been because of a lot of offensive rebounds, a lot of second chance point opportunities for the Dreamers here in the third quarter.
Running low on the shot clock. 6, 5 to Kadeem Jack. Running out of time. He's the tough turnaround, airballs it. Walko up high for the rebound.
Yeah, nice job by Kenny Chen fronting in the post. Not a nice job on that transition finish.
Blocked at the rim by Davon Reed and called for the foul is the Pilot.
Kenny did a great job battling in the post against Kadeem Jack. Again, forcing that awkward shot. Not able to finish in transition, but able to continue possession. We'll see what the Dreamers are able to do coming out of this next time out.
Help our stream out a lot if you could give a thumbs up to this Plus League broadcast. Help our stream get discovered by other viewers like you. To finish off that story, so you got Yang Jingming, Taiwan Beer. You got Charles Chen, CEO, current CEO, and at the time co-lead, we call him Fuling Dui. One of the kind of marketing heads at the time. Came up with the slogan of Taidu, and Yang Jiming, in preparation for this Plus League season and really the ABL season before, worked really hard to get his body in shape to lose weight, 9 to 10 kilograms, which ends up being about 20 pounds. He said that's the attitude of a professional, 职业的态度. Partial Mandarin lesson for you there. Funny how things get kind of full circle in that way.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of our viewers overseas are very familiar with Amigo being a staple on the national team. So we see Stephen Hicks with the miss from mid-range. Again, you may be familiar with him, but seeing him in his new body may take a little while to adjust.
Down low, Kadeem Jack bossing Stephen Hicks down low for 2 points. Jaron Young with a Euro floater and the tip in.
And that's what Jaron Young does best. Great at getting out in transition. Again, nice quick outlet off the make. But once again, the Dreamers scoring on that second chance opportunities. Something the Pilots need to correct here in the third quarter.
Now, what do you make of the Dreamers' defensive scheme to switch so much? Because they do have a lot of players who are quite a bit smaller.
Yeah, and that's where kind of the coaching staff has to just, we see Jaron Young fall down. They'd have to assess by themselves. Again, not going to have a big presence in the paint regardless. Might as well be aggressive with the switching. See if we can create some steals up on the front court. We saw them doing a good job of it in the first half. Not able to put that consistent defensive pressure on the ball here going forward in the game.
Kenny Chen with a miss. He's defending Davon Reed on the right side. Low to set something up. Guan Dayo will dribble and shoot. Tough shot.
And that's one of the possessions where they did a great job switching. Jaron Young getting out there to contest on the Guan Dayo three-pointer.
Walko hits.
Again, he's been a spark for this Dreamers team today from behind the line on the offensive glass. Again, cutting it back to a 10-point lead, giving the Dreamers some life in this third quarter.
After missing a lot in the first half, he's now 3 of 8 with 11 points. That's Randy Walko. Davon Reed underneath with another chance. Poked away by Kenny from behind. With numbers. Jared Young to the hoop. The Amigo from the corner. Bang! 7-point lead for the Pilots and fading fast.
But this is exactly how the Dreamers did it in the first half. Again, defensive stops leading to transition opportunities. We've seen Jaron Young being able to get his own shots, own offensive rebounds. Here we see him pass to Randy Walko for the three-pointer in transition. And then later we see him drive to the basket. Nice baseline kick out to Amigo for the three-pointer. This is how the Dreamers need to play, and it all starts from the defensive end.
With 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third quarter, the Dreamers coming on strong. In this quarter, 17-14 on your screen.
And this is where the Pilots have to kind of adjust. You mentioned earlier, usually it's turnovers that allow the opponents to stay in the game. Today it's been those offensive rebounds. And they had a chance to push this lead to 20 plus. Instead, those offensive opportunities given to the Dreamers have them cut it down to 7 points here with the third quarter closing out.
Checking out Randy Walko's career stats at New Jersey. He was a 38% three-point shooter, topping out at his junior year where he went 73 for 186. That's good enough for 39%.
Yeah, and that's, for those not familiar with him, he played at the College of New Jersey, graduated this past year. It's a Division III school. He was the NJAC Player of the Year, averaged 21 and 6, Division III first team, so you know he's skilled. He's just kind of trying to figure out how to be a professional. You mentioned Amigo, you know, knowing what a professional player has to do. That's something that comes with time. Obviously, we see him improving right before our eyes.
Flag-away now in the game. Intercepted by Hicks. Go to the hoop and flush it down with 2 hands.
But once again, with that switching defense, able to continue to pressure the ball. Stephen Hicks once again able to step up and get that steal at the top of the key.
Falling down, but it leads to a turnover for the Dreamers. Now Lagaway has to commit the foul on Jaron Young in transition. You talked about how he played in one of those a little bit more unofficial, disorganized competitions. Lagaway right now seemed like part of his game is playing very systematically and getting pretty predictable. A couple turnovers already.
And it's tough for him. Again, coming into this situation where you're expected to kind of lead the team, and you're very, unfamiliar with not just this team, but Taiwanese basketball in general. Having been in China for the last couple of years, that's something where Guan Dayo, number 6, coming in the game now, he's a lot more familiar with the style of play, so he's been able to step in and have a much better contribution.
You think you got one for me? First, two?
Down to 5 points, now 4 points. The Pilots have 12 turnovers, more than the Dreamers 8. A lot of them in this last third quarter coming on live balls.
Yeah, and Ryan, you mentioned it with that switching defense. Again, coach needs them to be aggressive. Again, if you're going to switch passively, you're just being lazy. They've done a really good job switching aggressively, getting in front of those post-up mismatches. Jaron Young doing a great job from the weak side, stepping in, anticipating passes. So this is how they need to play defensively.
Davon stepping up against Kenny. High rebound, Jaron Young comes away with it. Slicing through the middle to Kenny. To Hicks from the left wing. Too strong. Amigo there for the rebound.
Another offensive rebound here for the Dreamers.
Their total is up to 14 now. The middle. Step back, Jaron Young's favorite spot. Called on the bump at the hands. More free throws for the Dreamers. They're in the bonus.
This is the first time I've seen Kadeem Jack quiet all night. I think that means that he got him on the wrist on this shot.
Interesting to see when they'll bring in Quincy Davis. They love to save him for the fourth quarters, and he's played a lot of minutes. Right now, though, the team needs some stability.
Yeah, the coaching staff has talked about in the past held Quincy Davis. Obviously, they're going to try and limit his minutes. The biggest advantage he's going to give the team is going to be in that fourth quarter. So not just Quincy, we've seen Beast with the Fubon Braves. Coach Roger there doing the same thing, kind of limiting in the first 3 quarters of action, saving them for the fourth quarter. Interesting, all these lineup changes with this new season in Plus League.
2 missed free throws. Actually, looking at the third quarter box score I have in front of me, the Pilots are actually shooting better with 6 of 18 than the Dreamers 7 of 25, but more opportunities. Another turnover. Jaron Young up ahead. Will lay it up with the right hand. 1-point game.
But once again, points off turnovers, easy points in transition. Again, Pilots giving the Dreamers a chance in this game. Dreamers doing a good job capitalizing on these actions.
To the hoop and the block. Stephen Higgs proving me wrong by playing the big position. Amigo and one. Dreamers take the lead back.
And this is where it just kind of snowballs on you. Again, the Dreamers playing with confidence, not just on the offensive end, but defensively. Flying around, getting to those weak side blocks, able to create these transition opportunities. Easy points right there for Amigo, looking for a 3-point play.
The lost weight for Amigo, not enough as he finishes the layup, no problem.
You missed one before.
Kind of doing something funky with his wrist at the free throw line.
Yeah, that is the Amigo trademark shot release.
I think for the audience, it's a competitive basketball game, but Coach, do you feel like you're kind of a broken record player repeating the same notes? The Pilots, nothing on offense really. Davon Reed will hit the tough step back.
Yeah, it's interesting because we see these same matchups that going week to week, so very familiar with how these teams play. Again, obviously these teams familiar with each other.
Rattling the 3, that's Jaron Young.
Again, common set that the Dreamers will run, nice back screen, Jaron Young able to hit the 3. But these Pilots should know, these past couple weeks they've done a good job building up a lead and then letting the opponent back into the game with turnovers. So that's something that they have to adjust going forward, or else every game's going to be really tough.
It's up to Davon Reed. He puts it up and in, and the foul. So here come the Pilots. Davon Reed leading the way. He kind of got stuck with the basketball with the shot clock running down.
And that's a luxury for a coach to have. The Pilots, like you said, just getting stagnant offensively, not really knowing where to go. In these past couple possessions, Davon Reed taking it upon himself, getting right to the basket. Amigo get caught. Again, hands in the cookie jar, allowing Davon Reed just 3-point opportunity.
With a made free throw, Pilots take a 1-point lead. Turnover, quick dribble by Reed. He's on his way to the hoop and finish.
And that's where we see Amigo with his 4 fouls, not wanting to spend another one to stop that break. Yeah, Pilots with a nice flourish going into the fourth quarter here.
The Dreamers kind of slow on the inbound, ruining the Pilots' 2-for-1 opportunity. So Hicks will control, 3-second difference. Jaron Young with the baseline floater, missing everything. Hicks, steal, the shot from the 3. A lot of contact, slippery 4 in the middle. Foul called and more free throws.
Yeah, great job by Jaron Young, just continuing to stay active, playing to the whistle. As we see Davon Reed, once again, pong-pong, getting out in transition, setting a nice, possibly illegal screen in transition, creating a lane for his teammate. But again, Jaron Young just playing to the whistle, creating more scoring opportunities here at the end of the third quarter.
In Taiwan, when you say pong pong, you think of like facial washes. So pong pong there, washing away the defense. Here's your Mandarin lesson for the day.
It took till the end of the third quarter there, Ryan.
You still got to get Lock-On in there.
The Dreamers with their 4th miss in a row from the free throw line. Wasted opportunities here going into the 4th.
Only 5 for 12 so far. Okay, 6 for 13. Slightly better, 1 at a time. Davon Reed will hang on, and that'll be the end of the third quarter. 10-point lead is shrunken down to 2. Dreamers doing a good job that quarter. Ryan Chen along with Coach Ben taking a quick break before we head to the final decisive fourth quarter. Plus League basketball, back after a word. Final and decisive fourth quarter, where only Kadeem Jack and Davon Reed score for the Pilots. A big turnaround from their first half. And on the other side, 4 players for the Dreamers have reached double digits. That's Amigo Yang Jimin with 13, Jaron Young with 16, Stephen Hicks with 14, and young Randy Walco with 11. Got to be good for Kyle Julius to see their guys all getting involved. Slow with a pump fake and slow with a shot, but Hicks makes it anyways. Kadeem Jack whiffing on the block attempt.
Yeah, second time this game we've seen Hicks be able to get Kadeem in the air. Nice finish, great ATO by Coach Kyle Julius. Started out the fourth quarter.
Bandayo passing to Sijingyao, who misses. Pilots will get it back. To the corner, Chen Jinghwan. Haven't seen him in the fourth quarter too much. Getting the start right now. Kadeem Jack with a step back. Strong, and Quincy can't collect. Leads away there for the rebound. Kenny to the hoop. Fouled.
There's your lock on.
There's your lock on. In English, coach, you'd explain he's pumping in the air with the basketball up, then down, then up again.
Yeah, we can see the little mid-air adjustment here by Kenny Chen. Taking the contact, getting the ball up, able to go to the line for 2.
Free throws to take the lead. These Dreamers are showing good fight. Talked to Coach Julius before the game. He said, for a team that went 0-2 last weekend, they had the best week of practice imaginable.
Yeah, that's all a coach can hope for. Again, sometimes these games, you can't control the result, but if everybody has a good attitude in practice, everybody sticks together, wants to continue on this road to getting better, again, that's what a coach looks forward to every day. Again, the Dreamers have had a great performance here today so far.
Talk about stagnation. Only 3 attempts by players not named Davon Reed and Kadeem Jack for the Pilots. Yang Yifeng, head coach for the Pilots, stressed that their domestic guys got to get involved, be aggressive, and that's not the case in that last quarter.
Yeah, and we mentioned pregame that the fourth quarter is usually where number 28, Sijingyao, has a great contribution. We'll see if he does the same thing today.
Pump down low, shot clock violation. He had a mismatch on Kenny Chen, but it was too late.
Yeah, but once again, Kenny Chen doing a great job just battling in the post, fronting, forcing an extra 2 seconds. creating that turnover.
It's interesting because Kenny's only 6'3", but he's often, because of the switching, matched up and sticks with the bigger assignments. Hicks doubled in the corner. Walker will shoot the three. Too strong. Long rebound, Davon Reed around Stephen Hicks.
We talk about this switching defense. Honestly, a lot of the switching is just an attitude. Again, it doesn't matter how small you are. If you want to get to that front, you can do a good job. As we see Davon Reed with a nice step through over the Amigo defense.
70-70. Amigo to Wako. Gets it to Hicks. This slow shot. Missing. Derek over Quincy Davis.
We've seen the Dreamers continue to go to this box set cross screen for Hicks in the post. Not able to get it.
There you see the cross step around Amigo.
Nice left-hand discard of Amigo.
Aggressive defense by Guan Dayo.
This is where Davon Reed has really stepped up. We saw it at the end of the third quarter and continues here in the fourth quarter. Kind of taking this Pilots team on his shoulders, taking the scoring load. Allowing them to keep this a tight game.
Good adjustment by the Taoyuan Pilots. They have a few of their staff on hand to wipe the floor clean with hand towels. Walko through the middle, too hard off the glass. Another turnover by the Dreamers. That time trying to get it to Davis. Walko met at the rim. Guan Dayo thought it was clean. There's a lot of voices from the Pilot side.
But on the defensive end, we could see something that didn't happen in the first half. Talk about the first line getting beat, the defensive rotation coming over, this time coming over. And we can see Guan Dayo again coming down on that arm. Obvious foul. Randy Walko to the line.
Two team fouls for the Pilots. They had foul concerns as a team, really, in the third quarter, and no fouls for the Dreamers. Playing clean defense. Substitution on the floor. That's Liang Zhou, the Manimal, number 7, coming in for Pong Pong. So trying to get a little bit more agile with their players.
There's another lock-on for our fans at home. Learning Chinese, watching basketball, what could be better?
Appreciate all the audience out there. In the future, maybe after we both attend some classes, Coach Ben and I can get in some Taiwanese lessons too. Foul. That time Davis will shoot free throws.
I think I'm going to be the one needing to take those Taiwanese lessons, Ryan.
Jaron Young coming over the help, but it's called on Derek. Still a close game.
But that's where Quincy Davis puts a lot of pressure on the defense. That free throw line jumper, he's shown that he's able to make it. Derek stepping up a little too far with the blow by, sending Quincy to the line for those 2 free throws.
This would definitely be a Dreamers lead if they could hit their free throws. Only 4 of 9 in that last quarter against 8 Pilots fouls. We'll see how that progresses in the fourth quarter. Jaron Young with a turnaround shot. It's wet.
Yeah, but this is where that spacing from the earlier in the game has started opening up. Again, Kenny Chen with some makes and just being confident. Randy Walko able to space the defense out a little bit. Makes life a lot easier for Jaron Young.
Davon with a dribble. Behind the back, between the legs, behind the back again. Now finding space to the hoop before the shot clock. No good. Strong pass, Amigo collects it. Nice job, but missing the shot. He gets his own rebound, lots of attention, and Guan Dayo with another foul. Getting taken advantage of down low.
But once again, the Dreamers doing a great job on that switching. Derek just moving his feet, staying in front with the blow by, but the great help defense able to force that miss. Amigo missing the layup, but once again, the Dreamers attacking on the offensive glass, able to get a second opportunity.
8 minutes and 38 seconds left in the game. 3 team fouls for the Pilots. The Dreamers finally getting organized for the inbound. Kenny, Chen, Derek, Amigo, Walco, and Young for the Dreamers. As Young takes the 3 from top. Walco is there underneath. His size over Guandayo, but blocked from behind by Davis. Needed to help out there.
But once again, the Dreamers just hammering the Pilots on the offensive glass. Fortunately, Quincy Davis there to mop up things from behind.
Amigo from down low. Doesn't have that any of the negative aftershocks after yesterday's 5-second call. Derek working with patience, spins to the middle. Soft with the shot.
Again, we've talked about his defensive footwork, just being active there with some nice footwork offensively. Able to get that shot up in about 2.9 seconds.
One of the highlights from a previous game against the Pilots. Jack slips his way through the middle. Gets the Pilots back to within 1. Jaron Young gives it up to Amigo. He's looking for space. Now Derek up top, driving on Davis. Blocked again. That's his 3rd of the game.
And Derek, after that nice post move, getting a little ahead of himself, trying to get that little baby hook up over Quincy Davis. You can see here with the nice footwork, a nice fadeaway. 2 points from the local big Derek, exciting the bench.
Previously, the Pilots were having all the fun. Now the Dreamers getting in on the action. That's what we like to see. Thanks for watching the Plus League. We'll be back after a break with the rest of the Plus League competition. Welcome back to the action. We'd like to remind our audience that COVID-19 is still a serious threat worldwide. Do your part by preventing the spread. Wear a mask outside your house, wash your hands frequently, and follow the guidelines of health experts. You're getting another look at Lito Wei's turnaround. As Stephen Hicks receives, he'll shoot the corner 3. Can't hit.
Yeah, trying to get it before the shot clock expired. Tough shot for the Dreamers coming out of the timeout.
So that's right now 11 shots in the 4th quarter to just 5 by the Pilots. Being more aggressive.
Yeah, it's a product of those offensive rebounds, but also those turnovers. Pilots doing a lot of harm to themselves.
Guandayo will shoot the 3, too strong. Walco again with a rebound, getting highly involved.
Yeah, that's something we've talked about the Dreamers needing to do.
Alley-oop to the hoop, but Stephen Hicks was a little bit too low. Touchdown to the Pilots, and at the hoop, Zhang Gengyu will receive from Davis, and 1.
Nice little quarterbacking right there from the Kadeem Jack. Almost a touchdown pass.
Maybe a little hook and ladder. Davis to Zhang Gengyu. First foul for Walco. Zhang Gengyu started, but only has 2 points after the missed free throw. Hicks to Derek from the top. It's from 3 and hits. Again, Derek in the fourth quarter with a critical three.
And we saw him do this last week. Again, Derek, when he plays with confidence, is a completely different player. Obviously, after that post move, feeling himself a little bit. Nice three-pointer. Able to give the Dreamers the lead again.
Foul on the floor. He is sidelined out of bounds.
This is something Derek's been working on a long time. Again, you talked about Amigo losing 10, 11 kilos. Derek also lost 13 kilos this offseason. Working on that outside shot, just giving himself more opportunities to be on the court.
A little too handsy. Kenny Chen called for the holding. His third and the fourth team foul. So just like that, Dreamers one away from getting the Pilots in the bonus.
We've seen this battle the whole time. We talked about Ayao being Mr. Fourth Quarter, obviously being a veteran. He knows how to get the ref's attention. A little exaggeration, a little embellishment, getting the foul call right there before the ball is inbounded.
Switching out to Davis up top for his three-point attempt. Short into the right. Guandayo poked it right to his coach. Let him know he's ineligible for play and standing out of bounds. Amigo with Guandayo guarding him tightly. They're setting up for Hicks in the corner. Nothing coming about, so Hicks spins baseline. Amigo from the corner. Hicks pokes it out to Walko, another rebound for him. Derek now with his own offensive rebound. To Walko from the corner, too strong. Pilots finally get it back. Kadeem Jack leading his team with 15 rebounds. Nobody else in double digits. Turnover. Guandayo pokes it out of bounds before the Dreamers can build on their two-point lead.
We talked about Randy Walker with another rebound. Again, he's got his first double-double of his career here in the Plus League. Just doing a great job being active.
That's 12 rebounds for Walko, 5 on the offensive end. 19 overall on the team. Guandayo putting a lot of pressure on Amigo. He'll give it up. Young with a screen. They like this two-screen set. Amigo with a shot off the mark.
Yeah, they like swinging it to that second side for that other second ball screen. Amigo just not able to hit the shot there.
Again, Kenny Chen on the foul. Davis was screening and he tried to get around it.
But that's where Kenny's just got to be smarter. Again, you know he just got called for the foul. You can't get in there and defend with your hands. Again, if we get to see the replay, he's just using his hands to defend. If he gets down, uses his feet, uses his body, no issue. There, Ayao, the veteran, able to get to the line for 2 shots.
Kenny and Yang Jimmy have 4 fouls apiece. Actually, the Pilots have 3 players with 4 fouls. That's Guandayo, Chen Jinghuan, and Si Jingyao. Haven't had a lot of foul outs in the Plus League, Derek being one of them.
Yeah, obviously here, Plus League 48-minute game, we get 6 fouls, a little different than the FIBA games. Players not wanting to waste any of those fouls.
Si Jingyao missing the first with a chance to get one. Too strong. Bounced around, Kadeem Jack will get it. Tough underneath, and he finishes.
But that's the pressure that these Pilots put on you on these free throws. With Quincy Davis and Kadeem Jack there just playing volleyball. Q not being able to get it, but batting it to Kadeem Jack. Able to finish through contact for the N1 opportunity.
Real scramble in the middle, hands and body is all over. Jack finally secures it. Smart to do the spin move too. More free throws for the Pilots. Kadeem Jack now at the line. He makes, giving the Pilots the lead back. Yang Sen-yin dribbling, looking for Walko. He'll dish it out to Young. Has Davis in the spin. Derek will flip it out, but he was out of bounds. Good eyes by the referees.
Yeah, Randy with the open three-pointer, deciding to drive. Tough shot there by Jaron Young over the outstretched hands of Quincy Davis. Big stop by the Pilots.
Talked about Professor Tucker taking a lot of the shots. Walko, 3 from 10 from beyond 3, showing better confidence than before. Chen Jinghwan from the corner, he splashes that one. Extending the lead for the Pilots to 3.
And this is where the Dreamers have struggled a little bit, just trying to find somebody who can score. Again, we saw Davon Reed doing it a little bit earlier.
Guan Dayo with a steal to the hoop. Finishing around Walko. Commits the foul. 5-point lead Pilots. Dreamers pretty adamant. He was straight up. That time Kenny. Pass read by Guan Dayo.
Yeah, hopefully we can have one of the referees go on that program and explain to us why that was a foul. Again, Randy Walko doing his best to go up and down. Hands up. Ref deciding too much contact, putting Guan Dayo at the line for a 3-point play.
Too strong, and Guan Dayo will get the rebound. Kadeem Jack. That's kind of a punch out by Derek, it seems. 9.5 seconds. Dreamers will sub Jaron Young for Stephen Hicks as their one import.
Yeah, Dreamers trying to get a little bit bigger. Hopefully some help on the rebounding end and defensively.
Ayao, side stepper. Quincy Davis is there for the rebound. He puts it up, missed. Another opportunity, finally calls for the foul. Davis just sticking with it. Dreamers can't get him out of there.
We talked about him just playing volleyball. Again, earlier in the possessions, the Dreamers did a good job of one guy boxing him out, perimeter players coming in to grab the rebound from earlier. This time the perimeter players just falling asleep, letting Derek go one-on-one. Obviously not being able to out-jump Quincy Davis.
So coach, last time we got our conversion lessons. This time we're getting all the other sports involved. Volleyball, football. See how we can keep going with just 3 minutes and 51 seconds left in the game.
I'm sure we got a global audience here. They understand it all. Now we got to figure out a way to get soccer involved, baseball. We're very inclusive here in the Plus League.
If they pass it backwards, we'll call it a rugby pass. Davis, too strong. The free throws in this quarter, big struggle. 3 for 8 for the Pilots, 3 for 4 for the Dreamers, a little bit better. That's 8 fouls for the Dreamers in this quarter. Short, Davis gets his own rebound and fouled again. That time it was Walko.
But that's where Coach Julius has just got to be going crazy. Again, some of these rebounds you're not going to be able to do anything about. But there, you just miss somebody stepping in front of the shooter to grab the offensive rebound. That's a preventable offensive rebound.
Just like that.
It's coming up.
Another missed free throw. 3 for 10. So not hurting them like crazy. 5-point lead for the Pilots. Dreamers certainly within striking distance. That good defense from before. In that third quarter, big key, no Quincy Davis. He hasn't been efficient shooting the basketball. Just 1 for 5. Those offensive boards are slowing this game down. Ruining the rhythm for the Pilots. The Dreamers, I should say, has Kadeem Jack. 2 points in the hoop, so 2 missed free throws by Davis. Made field goal just the same. 7-point lead for the Pilots. Kenny receives from Hicks. Rejected screen by Derek, goes to the hoop. Off glass and in.
And great job going away from the size of Kadeem Jack and Quincy Davis. Kenny, once again, being able to finish through contact at the rim.
Now Kenny's reached double digits, 10 points, 3 of 8 shooting.
That's what the Dreamers need to do. I believe they have 5 players in double digits. Team effort today from the Dreamers. We'll see if it's enough to bring them to a victory.
3-second call on the offense. We saw this last week. Si Jingyao slow to get the shot up, and his teammates called for the violation.
Taking the opportunity to show off his footwork. Unfortunately, showed off a little bit too long.
We could say that a pilot was offsides. There's your football, soccer reference.
That one's a little bit of a stretch, Ryan.
We'll keep working on it. Under 3 minutes. Dreamers go to Hicks. Through the middle, looking for a teammate. Now Kenny will try. He's going to the hoop. Again on the right side, off the side of the backboard.
Once again, Virginia, great job coming from the weak side to get in the way of that shot.
Jack with the long hook, and Davis on the other side for 2 points. Well, rebounding in the half court's hard. Rebounding in transition's got to be even tougher for the Dreamers.
Yeah, and it sounds like a broken record. Just getting here. Them playing volleyball above the rim as I try to control the basketball. A little bit slippery over here.
Oh my goodness, it's an intense game, but I almost hope that our camera guys didn't get that. Coach Ben, maybe needs to hit the floor a little bit more. Walco spinning one in and out. To be fair, he was leaning over the broadcast table we have in front. Ball not getting high enough.
And these balls for the Plus League, very, very slippery. So if I yell players for turnovers, forgive me.
Jack working on Walco, but had that one poke away. Kenny Chen, his favorite right side to Derek. Through the middle. Amigo from the corner, he's open and here. Now just down by 4 are the Dreamers. Couple good possessions in a row.
Once again, defense leading to offense. Fast break opportunity there for the Dreamers. That's what they're going to need to do.
Kadeem Jack with Jaren Young guarding. 2 long-armed guys. Jack fade away. Kenny helping out on the rebound. Get it ahead to Amigo. On Chen Jinghuan, clean block. Jaren Young will pick it up. Step back. Off iron. Davis with the rebound. He'll move it up ahead to Yao. Spinning. Avoiding the 3-second call.
Yeah, good job here by the rookie point guard. Bringing it out, setting up the play. No need to rush.
Guan Dayo through the middle. And called for the charge.
Not sure anybody knows what was happening on that possession. The Pilots certainly don't know. Dreamers looking a little confused. Ends up with a charge.
He hit 2 Dreamers. I asked the referees about, was it Li Jiarui Evans' charge weeks ago against the Braves, and he told me it's because he kicked his legs up and hit the defender, and that is considered a dangerous move and deemed an offensive foul by FIBA.
Yeah, we mentioned just trying to protect the players, especially coming down here in a 4-point game with a minute left. Let the players play.
Kenny finds Jaren Young up top. He's got Davis on him, slips. I don't think the Pilots are very happy with that call. We know it's a slippery floor here in Taoyuan. They're doing their best.
Good job by the Dreamers there, getting the mismatch they were looking for. Quincy Davis, hand a little bit below the belt. At the same time as Jaren Young slipping, getting called for the foul. Setting Jaren Young for 2 to cut this to a 2-point game.
No substitutions on this possession, but the Dreamers go talk to Kenny Chen and Amigo over there. I think we're ready to go. Jaren Young bouncing that one out. Close to us and close to our Mandarin broadcasters. A lot of microphones over here getting Kadeem Jack with Rasheed Wallace's famous ball don't lie call. Maybe, we'll see. Good with the second one. Now 1 possession game, 39 seconds left. Fan Dayo with Walko on him. Charging through, and he'll take it back out. Ahuan to Ayao. Rejects the screen, spins to Davis up top. He'll have to shoot it. Off iron. Maybe a last possession for the Dreamers. They call a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, we can see Amigo calling a timeout from the free throw line on the other end. The ref completely oblivious, not seeing it. We'll see if they go back and add some time here for the Dreamers.
You're right, Coach. He was calling it from way in the backcourt.
We'll see back. We have 10.83 seconds on the clock. We'll see if they go back and add a little bit of time. Again, every half second here, very important for the Dreamers, down by 3.
The crew chief and the #1 official at the monitors checking things out. Given that there were no fouls, no shot attempts between, considerable to have the original timeout call. We'll see how they handle it. Now, Coach, no Anthony Tucker, but a lot of guys scoring, a lot of guys getting involved. What's the idea for the Dreamers right now if it was up to you?
Well, we saw them in the similar position last game. Again, they had a great side out of bounds play, drew up by Kyle Julius, had a wide open layup at the basket. Unfortunately, it probably took 5.1 seconds to get the ball inbounds. Again, I'm sure he's going to have a nice play set up here out of this timeout. Hopefully, they'll be able to cut this to 1-point lead, or at least, or maybe even tie it up.
The referee at that side wasn't even looking at the basketball. That's kind of a tricky thing because everyone has their area of responsibilities. And when Amigo's crossing from the right side of the floor to the left side, that official, especially in transition, running down, not paying that much attention.
Yeah, we can see Coach Julius recognizing that and making sure to give him an audible cue. Make sure he knows that there's a timeout being called.
Hey, can the Dreamers give cues if Quincy Davis Q plays for the Pilots, though?
Oh, look at you with the pun here. Again, Coach Julius always doing a good job of quietly reminding the refs of what they should be paying attention to on the court.
Looks like they'll be putting 2 seconds back on the clock. Let's see where they'll inbound it. Should be in the front court. Let's see in the end how the Dreamers execute it. So the 30-second timeout, side out of bounds. Coach Ben, you think they should throw it in?
I think at this point they're probably going to look for the quickest shot they can. Again, last time they got a wide open layup with 1 second.
Over to Young. He dribbles and shoots. Shot blocked. He thought he was hit. 30-second timeout called by Su Jinyao. Getting the ball into the front court. Pilots right now, huge advantage with the basketball. Side out of bounds. Checking out the replay. There was a little bit of contact.
That's all you need on these three-point shooters. A little bit of contact completely messes up that shot. Again, Jared Young understandably upset with the ref standing right in front of him.
Knowing what's going down, I guess I would ask the same. Dreamers, they got a foul coming out of the break, or could they go for a trap and steal?
It's going to be tough to have time for a trap and a steal, especially since they've used up their 30-second timeout. Again, if they get that steal, these Pilots players have to be ready to be strong with the ball, just ready to pivot. With Quincy Davis in the game, it's always nice to have a really safety outlet there. You can just toss it up to him, let him jump and get that.
They have Davon Reed in the game. In the last Sunday's game, they had him come from the baseline, streak out across the floor up top, receiving the pass, and Amigo had a foul. Let's see if the inbound defender, Randy Walko, will front that side a little bit better. Running out of time. Davis now in the middle. He'll throw it, but fouled first.
Quincy just being a great safety on that inbounds pass with that size. he's typically been a good free throw shooter, but today he's been just a bit off from the free throw.
Just a bit off. 2 for 6.
That's just a bit off.
14 for 23 from the free throw line are the Pilots. That's just 60.9%. 60% would be the low end of the league average. In a tight game like this, you need it to be better.
Yeah, the Dreamers just kicking themselves. Lots of opportunities to win this game from the free throw line. Unfortunately, not able to take advantage of those opportunities. Now looking at a tough deficit with only 6.6 seconds left.
Those Dreamers are 10 for 19, only 52.6%. Not good. 2 made free throws. Now it's a 5-point lead for the Pilots. Dreamers hoping for a miracle now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Coach Julius can drop a 5-point play out of this timeout. Again, Pilots just got to be smart. No stupid fouls. No miscommunications. They should be able to go home with a victory today.
Tomorrow, the Taipei Fubon Braves make their first trip to Taoyuan to take on the Pilots at 2:30 in the afternoon, Taiwan time. We'll have the English broadcast. The Dreamers will head west to take on the Hsinchu Jiekou Lioneers. Lioneers and Braves swapping venues for their own rematch. Check that out on our league YouTube site. Of course, you're here already if watching online. P.LEAGUE in your search engine. The Dreamers playing a little bit better, but still down in the late stages of this game, it seems.
Yeah, lots of things to build on for the Dreamers here, though. Again, the best being probably Randy Walko, the rookie coming in, looking a lot more comfortable with the double-double. Again, something to build on going forward. Again, long season, still lots of time.
Jaron Young will come in, shoot the deep 3, airball it. No foul anymore, and that'll be the end of the game. Pilots go 4-0 against the Dreamers in their first 4 matchups, defending their home court, even without any audience in the stands. A step to prevent the spread of COVID-19 here in Taiwan. The basketball was good, and look out for a post-game interview with the players on the court before we transition out of this basketball game and lead you guys to the broadcast of the Lioneers Braves basketball game. Top scorer for the Pilots was Kadeem Jack with 31 points. Second was Davon Reed. They were able to pull it off in the end with a 21-18 fourth quarter. Now we got word that Kadeem Jack will be our player interviewed. He's standing by, getting just ready. Well, Coach, in the end, what was the key for the Pilots?
The Pilots just able to control the offensive glass there in the fourth quarter themselves. Again, the Dreamers starting out, but then it was Quincy Davis and Kadeem Jack just playing volleyball above the rim, batting it back and forth. Too many easy buckets for the Pilots to give up.
That's 9 offensive boards for the Pilots. 5 by Davis, 2 by Jack, and he is standing by courtside. Asked about
it's a great win because we've been talking about stringing a couple along. So this 4 wins in a row, then tomorrow we go and we get this because we owe Fubon from the last time that they got us at home. So we really just trying to string them along and go for that first place. Oh, I missed it. I missed it by 1, man. Yeah.
Now asked about his stats. He's being described as
I wouldn't argue with
centers.
that. I wouldn't argue with that at all. Have a good day. 谢谢, 谢谢.
There we had Kadeem Jack. Another great performance at the aforementioned 31 points and 19 rebounds, also throwing in 1 block. Coach Ben, maybe tomorrow we'll see Jack, we'll see Davon Reed, or we could also see Willie Warren, the Pilots, with a lot of momentum facing off against the #1 team in the league.
Yeah, Kadeem Jack just doing a great job being available today. Being available on the offensive glass, being available on his teammates' drives, being available defensively to help out from the weak side. With Fubong's size tomorrow, they're definitely going to need him for that game. Be excited for that matchup.
We'll be right back after this with more post-game analysis. Stick with us. Back in Taoyuan, the sun has now set, and so has the conclusion of this Plus League basketball game. 89-84, the Pilots take this one, their 4th consecutive victory against the Dreamers, and defend their home court 4-0 as well. Coach Ben, checking out the final statistics between the two teams. Really, in the end, it came down to offensive rebounding, the biggest advantage for the Taoyuan Pilots.
Yeah, they got most of their offensive rebounds there in the 4th quarter between Kadeem Jack and Quincy Davis, especially off those free throws. Again, any momentum that the Dreamers had got quickly shut down by those Pilots' second chance points.
There was a big shooting disparity. The Dreamers took 99 shots to 78 by the Pilots. The Pilots were more accurate though, and like Coach said, getting the key rebounds in the end. They've committed more turnovers, so that's still a point of focus for Coach Yang Yifeng and the team. Assist department getting up there. Interestingly enough, the Dreamers had 5 players in double digits, the Pilots only with 2. We'll keep an eye out on all those in the Plus League as we go along. For the next game, the Taipei Fubon Braves will come in against the Pilots. That will be game 16, 2:30. That takes place tomorrow. Thanks for joining us on this broadcast. Plus League Basketball brought to you in English. I'm Ryan Chen for Coach Ben and our team, the league. Thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. See ya.